list of regards to the fellow members of the Alpha branch of the Utopia. And now, commencing video.
Hello everyone, my name is the one and only Silverreploid CLA. How are you guys doing on YouTube? That's right, the Silverreploid / Inkling coming at you live looking fresh in the flesh on the net, streaming on stream, and of course, with a new video live, if you will, because as you saw from the short that I uploaded earlier this morning, I unboxed a new video light, and of course, it compared to the previous one that I had, which happens to be what's behind my laptop. Hold on just a sec. In the past, I had this video light in particular, and of course, it's a good video light and all, but also to be fair though, I had this video light for like years ago. It's a basic light, if you will, but it's still a good video light nevertheless. Now I have the ring light that you saw earlier this morning, and compared to the previous one that I had, it adds much more clarity and much more lighting and whatnot, and it's a very powerful light, if you will, because I showed you that the brightness levels of this ring light. It's a very cool ring light. I highly recommend this to those who are looking to brighten their screens, if you will, and whatnot. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to look at another SCP. And of course, let me just say right off the bat, last week's SCP that I reacted to, it was like, it almost had me in tears. And if you're wondering what it is, I'm going to add that video in the outro for those who have yet to see my reaction to it. So, today we're looking at the biggest SCP, well, by big I mean in terms of numbers, considering that, or rank if you will, because well, today's SCP we're looking at is SCP-2317, Devourer of Worlds / A Door to Another World. Ouch. This one has two aliases, but we're here to see what they have for this particular anomaly. But before we get to that, guys, one quick special thing I want to bring out to you all. Today is the birthday of one of the sisters on behalf of the community, and she goes by the name of Phrase. So happy birthday to you, Phrase, since you're watching this video. God bless you, and hope you have a great one. And before we get started with this reaction, guys, for those who are new to the channel, thank you all very, very much as always for tuning in, and of course giving the channel a very excellent glimpse. Your everlasting love and support are greatly appreciated here truly. Please do not hesitate to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below, and please subscribe for more content with the notifications activated. Also, big shout outs to members on behalf of the Utopian branch, aka the membership branch. If you also wish to become a member on behalf of the Utopian branch, please refer to the join button. The link is in the review the perks, and when you join, the perks are granted to you by yours truly. Make sure you also take this time for you to subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. Channels provided in the description, comments in the outro, and guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and check this out. We shall see how it goes, and that'll be all for today. Rolling clip now. Hi everyone, before continuing, it is with great pleasure to let you guys know that I recently made a cameo. If you'd like to receive a personal video shout out from me, whether it's your birthday, your wedding day, or if you even like to receive a congratulatory shout out for your gaming achievement, sporting achievements, social media account milestones, and so much more to help you to also start your cameo journey, please refer to my link located in the video description.
The fabric of our world is littered with strange doorways if you know where to look for them. Tears, portals, anomalies, all leading to places and planes beyond human imagining and understanding. And
what is this, a horror edition of Chronicles of Narnia?
Known as a door to another world, certainly fits that description. Contained and kept at all times under the watch of armed guards, SCP-2317 appears to be a simple and unsuspecting wooden door in its frame.
That's all
it hardly looks like it requires such extreme round-the-clock security, or needs a strange, secretive ritual that the Foundation performs, presumably to keep the door closed. But of course, sometimes the most interesting thing about a closed doorway isn't where it leads, it's what it keeps out. Even by the Foundation's already high standards, the requirements and regulations for personnel who are assigned to SCP-2317 seem oddly specific. Psychological testing is standard practice to work for the Foundation, but an additional hurdle that anyone has to clear before even getting to glimpse at this unassuming wooden door is having a score of at least 72 on the Milgram Obedience Examination. It is also mandatory that personnel assigned to maintaining it are both unmarried, with no children or next of kin, as well as an unwavering, unquestioning loyalty to the Foundation. pure devotion
Those are
to
a lot
its
of
code
guards
and objectives.
for such an organization
These
as
may
that.
seem like strange requirements. After all, SCP-2317 is just a door, isn't it?
I mean, from the looks of it, I'm
Perhaps
sure.
there's a reason that the Foundation keeps so much of the information about SCP-2317 buried deep under layers upon layers of security, with only the Overseer Council privy to the full details of its strange nature.
And who the heck are those guys?
Knowledge, as they say, is power. But maybe knowing too much about whatever is behind that door can prove deadly. Still, if
basically it's like a deadly
SCP-2317
power.
is a door to another world, an alternate dimension, or parallel reality, it must be safe enough to visit. After
It's
all,
an
the Foundation
understatement.
has been sending personnel in there on a regular basis. Daily, in fact. According to the O5 Council, this is done as part of a procedure to maintain active containment of something lurking beyond that old wooden door frame. But what could possibly warrant such constant maintenance and surveillance? In accordance with the Foundation's guidelines, all staff are required to rotate out of observing SCP-2317 after every
What have
2
they been
months
traumatized by?
and spend the following 3rd month in full psychological counseling before they are permitted to return to the containment unit housing the door to another world. It was after one of these month-long periods of evaluation that a Foundation guard was informed that his security clearance has been raised
He
to
doesn't
level
seem
3,
phased. Wouldn't you
and that
agree?
he'd been selected for the duty of carrying out 220 Calabasas. He knew the name instantly. This was the title given to the daily containment procedure that absolutely had to be carried out. The guard didn't question these orders. After all, he'd been selected precisely because of his loyalty to the Foundation. He did make one request to his commanding officer, however. He wanted to know what had happened to the last guard that had performed the procedure. "Didn't make it out of psychological evaluation," the officer replied. Not letting
That
this
can't
affect
be
his
good.
dedication, the guard was told to prepare for procedure 220 Calabasas, along with a fellow member of Foundation security personnel. The guard was instructed to gather everything on a strange list. The first was a pre-selected member of Class D personnel, specifically a convicted murderer. Class D refers to disposable class personnel, expendable individuals recruited by the Foundation for the sole purpose of testing SCPs. Class Ds were usually prison inmates repurposed for SCP testing, and the one chosen for 220 Calabasas was no exception, serving multiple life sentences for murders, or at least that's what the guard had been told. A Foundation personnel member instructed him to refer to the Class Ds solely as the assistant from that point on. Next, the guard collected a live chicken, an obsidian-edged knife, a silver aspergillum and aspersorium, to be filled with 500 cc's of holy water that had been blessed by a priest of the Abrahamic faith, and finally, a 1 kiloton nuclear device, which according to instructions was only to be detonated in the unlikely event
What
of a
the-
catastrophic containment failure. In other words, the last resort. After following his instructions to the letter and without question, the guard and his colleague were briefed. The Foundation personnel member informed them that he'd be joining and leading them in the procedure. The staff member also specified that henceforth he'd be referred to as the Celebrant until the completion of 220 Calabasas. The guard was acutely aware of how specific these instructions were, but trusted in the Foundation, knowing that if they wanted this procedure performed a certain way, then it was in everyone's best interest to carry out the orders to the letter. But what the Celebrant then
Are they
went
sure
on
it
to
was the
explain
best interest?
raised far more questions about SCP-2317 and the nature of Procedure 220 Calabasas. The Class D joining them wasn't actually a Class D. The
What
assistant,
class was
as
he
they were
then?
now referred to, was in reality another Foundation staff member with a Level 4 security clearance specifically tailored to SCP-2317. Every member of staff entering through SCP-2317 and taking an active role in 22 Calabasas needed to be informed that this assistant was not to be harmed or treated as a member of disposable class. Fighting back the nagging question of why the Foundation would employ this subterfuge, the guard, along with his fellow security officer, the Celebrant, and assistant, prepared for their departure through the door to another world at solar noon, when the sun
Must be a
was
hot
highest over
section there.
SCP-2317.
Oh,
Solar
right.
noon, chickens, and holy water. This all seemed like an oddly occult combination for the Foundation. As they entered the old wooden door, beyond lay a barren salt plain, stretching out for kilometers in every direction. This alternate dimension, according to the briefing, was designated SCP-2317 Prime. The guard immediately noticed a ring of 7 pillars directly ahead of the group as they entered, each of them bearing intricately detailed engravings unlike anything from any era of ancient history. Procedure 220 Calabasas was carried out quickly but carefully, the guard watching as the celebrant and assistant were careful not to miss a step. First, the celebrant scattered holy water into the center of the pillars with the aspergillum and aspersorium, looking down at his feet and keeping a steady pace as he stepped counterclockwise around them. The guard watched intently as the celebrant completed his circuit around the pillars and turned to the assistant, anointing his head with holy water. 7 seals, 7 rings, 7 thrones for the Scarlet King, he said aloud. The assistant, with the obsidian blade in his hand, took the chicken and dispatched it in sacrifice, letting its blood mix with the holy water. He then repeated the celebrant's circuit in the opposite direction, before stepping into the center of the stone pillars. Blood for the old gods, water for the new king, the assistant recited, pouring the remaining mix of blood and holy water over a patch of salt in the middle of the 7 pillars. Even though he knew it wasn't his place to question the Foundation, as the 220 Calabasas procedure took place, the guard couldn't help but wonder what all this was for.
Even I was wondering the same thing, like, even though 2317 is the anomaly that is currently in discussion as of now, but I'm still trying to question as to what exactly is the mass danger, as like what is behind the door, even though it itself is claimed to be in 2 aliases, the Devourer of Worlds or a door that leads to another dimension. Like, what is his, like, you know, what's its purpose? Like, will it, like, well, let me just watch ahead and see what it's all about.
It seems so ritualistic, like something deeply religious.
I mean, those
or
are,
even
I
magical.
know there are pillars in
He
there,
never bought
but,
into all that occult
and all
mumbo
that stuff,
jumbo,
but
even while working for the Foundation. But he had learned not to question anything,
was it the
even
little
the
mushy guy
strangest
from
and most
before?
inexplicable of sights.
The tickle monster?
Little did he know that beneath
I
his
guess
feet
not.
was an ancient and unknowable horror.
Uh-oh.
A beast, chained and lying in wait. Contained in a chamber directly underneath the pillar,
I see
sat
now.
an impossibly large creature. Humanoid and obese, its body covered entirely in scales thicker than armor plating. Branch-like horns protruded from its jawless head, pointing up to chains that hung from the 7 pillars above. Each one hooked into the entity's back. All but one of the chains was broken, a final withering shackle keeping the Devourer of Worlds in its underground prison. Ever since 1894 BCE, when Erexian mystics imprisoned it, the Devourer has been waiting patiently for its inevitable freedom. It knows, as well as the Foundation, that nothing can be done to prevent the final chain from one day breaking. Even Procedure 220 Calabasas won't keep the creature contained. It's nothing more than a smokescreen, an act designed to create an illusion of active containment and maintain Foundation morale until a permanent solution can be devised to keep SCP-2317 imprisoned. Of course, if the guard had known this, it would have also explained the need for a 1-kiloton nuclear device as part of this staged ritual. Procedure 220 Calabasas had all the components to trick everyone below the O5 Council, emulating religious and occult rituals, the increased level of security surrounding the procedure and its purpose, and telling staff that any failure to correctly and completely perform the 220 Calabasas procedure will result in an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. All these elements work together to conceal the truth that one day the Devourer will escape and lay waste to our dimension. Knowledge is power, and maybe knowing too much truly is deadly. Perhaps if the guard had learned any of this, he'd have understood why his predecessor never made it out of psychological evaluation. Maybe if he had questioned the purpose of Procedure 220 Calabasas, he'd have learned the true nature of SCP-2317 and what that doorway kept out. But he was loyal to the Foundation through and through. As the team finished performing 220 Calabasas and returned through the wooden door, the guard took one last glance over his shoulder at the vast salt plain. The entire dimension was calm, silent, but not peaceful. It was patient. The entity had waited centuries for its time, and now all it would take was the breaking of this seventh and final chain. One day. The door was closed behind the guard as he, the celebrant, the assistant, and his fellow security officers stepped back through. Their work done and, as far as they knew, preventing catastrophe for another day. Only the Foundation higher-ups, the Overseer Council, are aware of the true danger posed by SCP-2317 and its sole inhabitant. Current predictions are that at some point within the next 30 years, the Devourer of Worlds will be freed. Any and all attempts to repair or recreate the chains holding it in place have so far failed. As such, the O5 Council has elected to continue providing Foundation personnel with the ignorant hope that Procedure 220 Calabasas is an effective strategy for containment. As we've said, sometimes the most interesting thing about a closed door isn't where it leads, it's what it keeps out. In the case of SCP-2317, the unassuming wooden door holds at bay an ancient creature of untold power that will one day break free and wreak havoc in our dimension. Nothing the Foundation does can prevent it, or keep it contained behind the door to another world. And only the Overseer Council knows that any and all efforts to do so are futile. With all that in mind, we can only hope that the doorway of SCP-2317 stays closed. At least for a little while longer.
I think you meant to say much
Now go
longer
check out
because
SCP.
I think you meant to say, well, aside from the promotion talk, I think you meant to say much longer because given his quote-unquote potential, given that he is the devourer of such a realm, yeah, you might want to guarantee that your locks will be securely locked in that very chamber of that anomaly because, yeah, it's a lot to take in. And what I also get the feeling that Overseer Council kind of reminds me of Overseer Council, I'm sorry, kind of reminds me of Takamagahara from Blaze Blue. You know, the three ancient anomalies from a different area and whatnot. Yeah, this kind of blends. It kind of blends in a lot. There's a lot to take in with the inclusion of the 220 Calabasas that they perform, the ritual to keep the Devourer maintained and whatnot. But looking at it. Now guys, when it comes to stuff like this, don't judge what is on the outside because you don't know for certain what's on the inside, and that right there just literally proved that very point, considering that it's not just any realm per se with the pillars and whatnot, with the rituals performed, it's also something underneath that, be exact. So, I guess there will be more to this entity 2317. So, that right there was my reaction, guys, to the anomaly, and of course, yeah, that gave me a bit of a shiver and whatnot, but, yep. Anyway, guys, that right there is going to wrap up my reaction to SCP-2317, the Devourer of the other world, and the door that leads to another dimension, and stuff like that. If you do happen to encounter a secret door, I recommend you not come into contact with it in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, guys, that right there is my reaction to the explanatory animation. Hope you guys enjoyed it very much, and if you did, as always, everyone, please hit the like button, leave your comments down below, and please subscribe for more with the notifications activated. Make sure you also take this time to subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. Channels provided in the description, comments in the outro, and guys, my social media, Twitch, and my song list are also provided in the description. Also, guys, if you wish to request a personal shout out from yours truly, you may do so by referring to my Cameo link in the description. And of course, you can request me to say anything you want me to say on video, and boom, there you go. Also, if you wish to commission a song made by yours truly to use for your content, etc., please do not hesitate to hit me up via social media, and we'll go from there if I do song commissions. This is me, Silverreploid CLA, signing off for now. I love you guys. Stay fresh in the flesh and off the hook. Also, once again, special happy birthday to Phrase on behalf of the community. Stay fresh in the flesh and off the hook. And on behalf of Utopia, I'll catch every single one of you in the next video. Have a blessed and safe Monday, everyone. And of course, this is quite a way to do my last video for March, since we're literally closing into the end of March for this year. And yeah, stay safe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.
If you love music, and if you would like to partake in supporting my channel by purchasing music, please refer to my song list down below.
Hey guys, Silverreploid CLD here. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. Please smash on the like button, subscribe for more content if you're new, and please turn on the push notifications. And also, please make sure you check out my other videos or any video on display and show tons of love and support for not only me, but to those who are also involved. Have a great one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!